I get so excited about the first $100,000. Now, it's not going to be easy. This is actually, because like I said, there's a lot of quit along the road. You see a lot of people who will start saving and investing. They'll get motivated, but then they stop. This first $100,000 is hard.
And I want to be clear, we're talking about $100,000 of liquid investments. So this would be like IRAs, 401ks, taxable brokerage account, HSAs, those types of things. We want this first 100, this milestone, to be where you've actually got $100,000 working for you. And so the question may be, okay, well, guys, why is this significant? Why is this important? Well, behaviorally, it shows that you've actually begun to master behavior. No one gets to $100,000 of investable assets by accident. It's not just something that you trip and fall into. It likely took some work to get there.
Yeah, it is. And like I said, you're not hitting mastery of your money at this point, but you're definitely showing some signs that your behavior and your good things are starting to reach not a critical mass, but a point of where you're getting traction. And we actually have a case study or an illustration to make our point on this, on why $100,000 is so important.
Yeah, it's wild. If you think about, okay, if you're someone who's going to save $10,000 a year, and you're going to save $833 each month, and again, let's assume that you can make 8%. It will take you about 7.6 years, right at 7.5 years, to build that first $100,000. But if you can stay consistent, you can continue doing that, it'll actually take you about 28 years to build to $1 million. So again, this is just $833 a month. That first $100,000 took 7.5 years, 28 years to get to $1 million. Do you realize that path from 500 to $1 million took the exact same amount of time that it took you to go from 0 to 100,000.
That's the part, and this is something from a behavioral as well as getting affirmations that this is all worth it along the way. That 7.6 years is going to feel like a long time. But look at the good news. The second 100,000, meaning going from 100 to 200, was 4.7 years. We almost cut it in half. And then it was 3. Then it was a little under 3. Then it was 2. And that's what the part that just shows the power of compounding growth. And when you do hit some form of critical mass where your money is working harder than you do, more to come on that. The fact that it can grow from 500,000 to $1 million in less time than it took to get that first 100,000, that's the stuff that gets you excited. Just don't fall off the road to success because you get distracted by consumption decisions and all the other things when you're young that seems like you have so many Americans that fall off.
Now, wealth building can be a slow process, but there are things that you can actually do to speed it up. And one of the biggest things you can do is your behavior, how you save, how you build. I mean, we already said that if you save $10,000 a year, $833 a month, it'd take you about 7.5 years to get to $100,000. But do you realize if you can save $1,000 a month, you can drop that time to 6.4 years to get to $100,000? If you can save $1,500 a month, now you can get to $100,000 in 4.5 years. And if you can save $2,000 a month, starting right now, it would only take you 3.5 years to build up to $100,000. So if you can put in the hard work, you actually have the ability to influence how fast your money grows.
Now remember, there's a theme here. Sticking with it and being consistent is going to be a big part, but then also remembering that your savings rate is more important than even what your rate of return is in the beginning. So if you can focus on, once again, what you can control, which is your savings rate and your behavior of sticking with it, you'll be that much better for it.
And one of the things that will let you stick with it, again, is tracking. Are you doing an annual net worth statement? We have a tool that you can use out at learn.moneyguy.com that you can literally fill out for last year, for this year, and for all the years moving forward so that you can track your progress. So you can see, okay, how far am I from that 100,000? How quickly can I get there? What things can I change to move there even faster so that once I hit 100,000, then I can move on to milestone number 3.
This is one of those, I call it a healthy habit. I'll even say for some of us, it turns into a healthy addiction, is if you actually do these positive behaviors, you're going to see these small wins start to stack. And then one day you're going to look back and go, how the heck did I get here? Trust me, this works. We have a whole client base of people who can give you, and when we do our wealth surveys, it shows this stuff works. You just have to stick with it.
All right, so milestone number 1 was getting to 0. Milestone number 2 was getting to 100,000. Now let's talk about milestone 3. And this isn't a specific dollar figure, but it's more what your money can do. Because at milestone number 3, your money is actually saving harder than you do. For example, if you save $5,000 this year, but your portfolio makes $6,000, your portfolio has added more to the pot in a given year than you did.
Yeah, I'll just tell you from a behavioral standpoint, like I said, we know that in the beginning it feels hard because you're just not getting a lot of feedback that what you're doing is actually going to pay off. But you do this long enough, it is amazing. You'll get that quarterly statement and you'll say, wait a minute, I just noticed the change in value and the income combined is more than what I saved. It's going to feel really good. And I'm going to even say, and we'll more to come on this, when you start comparing that then to what you make, and you're like, oh my gosh, I see how money as a tool can be so valuable. So we want to just kind of give you some feedback on what are the numbers that's going to allow you to kind of have as a goal so that you can replace even what your savings rate is.
Yeah, if you think about this, if you have a portfolio worth $87,500 and you make 8% on that portfolio, you will have made $7,000 a year. That's enough to max out your Roth IRA. So an $87,500 portfolio could max out your Roth IRA every year. If you have a portfolio that has $294,000 in it and it makes 8%, well, that's enough to max out your 401k at $23,500. So what's really fun is as you're tracking that net worth statement every year, you know exactly what you're saving. You know what your 25% is. But then when you see that your portfolio starts knocking off some of those big milestones as well, it gets super, super exciting.
I think it's important. This doesn't mean you stop. I mean, because that's the thing. I don't want you getting excited in your 20s when you start to reach some traction and it's exceeding your Roth. And I don't want you to quit when your money is making more than you put in your 401k. This is supposed to be almost like a virtual high five where you look at your army of dollars and be like, we're in this together. It's not just me and my discipline anymore. It's now the traction point where the money is starting to work. And if you want to actually do this for yourself, because it's fun to see these illustrations, but you're like, well, where's that point actually going to happen for me? We've got something pretty exciting. We've actually been working really hard behind the scenes. The content team's been working. We have a compound interest calculator. You got to go play with this thing. And what I like about it is it's going to motivate you because if you go to moneyguy.com/resources, you're going to put in the variables. But then what's cool is when it gives you the feedback and calculates, it's going to say, hey, but if you do a little bit more, look at what this does for you. It just gives you some little nudges to keep you motivated, to keep you on point so you reach your great, big, beautiful tomorrow that much sooner.